older, going to be a little bit different. But we're looking forward to just getting back in each other's presence and especially the presence of God, which He is always with us. I'd like to talk to you today. I saw some folks who are friends of mine, and the question was asked about corporal punishment for children. This has always been a stickler. And of course, automatically, some folks bring this scripture up. And I want to talk to you about this for just a minute and what really discipline is and what we can do as parents. And it's from Proverbs 13 and verse 24. And this, you hear this all the time. Whoever spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is diligent to discipline him. So that means we are just to go out and beat the living dog snot out of our children. Isn't that correct? No, I'm sorry, this is not a license for corporal punishment. Now, we must understand, and I know everybody has different feelings on this. I have no problem with a little swat on the behind on occasion. To be honest with you, when I grew up, I had the Board of Education applied to the seat of learning on many occasions. Most times didn't help me a lot, but there are times a little swat, maybe here and there, when they're young. But I will tell you this, discipline is learning that there are consequences for your actions. One of the things we have to understand, we might have a child. I've got a 2-year-old grandson right now. He's running around like a little wild man. And he doesn't understand that if there is a cherry red hot stove in the middle of the floor, and he doesn't understand you can't just run around like a little wild man and run into the cherry red hot stove and there are no consequences. That's why I'd rather give him a little pat and say, Jameson, don't get close to the stove. I don't want you to burn yourself, because I would rather do that than end up with scars and well, he'll learn the lesson. Yeah, he'd really learn the lesson, all right. But the thing is, there's discipline. But the main thing is to teach and to model and to be present. The number one indicator that children will be successful is to have both parents involved in their lives. They're present, doing the things, and modeling, teaching. We are the examples for our children. And guess who is our example? Christ. He is our example. So if we are living as disciples of Christ, then we can teach an example to our children. The best thing that you can do is to teach your children right from wrong. Bring them to the house of God. Teach them that there are things bigger than themselves. We've discussed this a little bit in the past, but this is so important. You're not going to beat discipline into anybody. No. You have to train. Even the Army understands this. Yes, there's discipline, there's other things. But guess what they do? They train you. They train you how to do certain things. And that is the biggest thing, training, teaching, modeling. And if children see us being gracious, if children see us praying, if children see us being loving towards one another and being caring, they will model those same things. Again, we need to model and teach. Maybe a little pat here and there, but let's model, let's teach, and let's learn that there is discipline. Sometimes you got to maybe take something away. Maybe sometimes you have to do other things. But this is not a license to go out and physically do things. Yeah, there might be a time to have a little bit of that. But mainly, let's teach, let's model, and let's show the love of Christ to our children. And I would almost bet that we would have much more well-rounded, better behaving children and a society. Got to remember, this is not a short-term fix. There are no quick fixes. You need to look at the long game. And raising children is a lifetime. You're going to be raising those kids until the day